Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk About It. This is my friend Josh Davis. He is absolutely interesting. And to boil down what he does, it's not fair to even put a title. I know on the little super there, it's going to say owner of JC Acre, but he does so much more than that. Josh, thank you for coming on the show. First off, tell me about JC Acre and what you do.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, thanks for having me.
You bet.
It's a pleasure to be here. JC Acre is a very small family-run regenerative farm, and regenerative meaning that we keep all of our animals outside 100% of the time on pasture. We do a rotational grazing system, so all of our chickens are regularly rotated on pasture. They're never cooped up in a barn. All of our pigs are rotated on pasture. And it just kind of allows the animals that we care for on our property to live as nature intended them to live.
Yeah.
And so we really love it. It's been a really fun journey so far. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the baseline of what it is.
So Josh and I kind of have a family tie, and there's not enough time in this process to go through it, but we're very close. I just adore his entire family. So I need to state that for the record, that I'm a little bit biased. And I think he has the best eggs anywhere. We got on your egg delivery business, and it's incredible. And how many customers now are you delivering eggs to?
Oh, it fluctuates. We're in the middle of moving we actually just launched our new website today, which is super exciting. Like
what
about
is it?
45 minutes ago. It's still jcacre.co,
Okay.
But we just moved platforms to kind of make it easier on us and easier on our customers.
Okay.
So we've our subscribers having had to move over recently. We don't have a few that are moved over, but we service about somewhere between 60 and 100 customers per week.
Yeah, we've got to re-up during the summer our egg consumption, because the girls don't do breakfast during school. So we don't do a lot of eggs during the school year.
Mm-hmm.
During the summer, when they're not having to worry about school, then we knock out a lot of those. And I'm not just saying this, absolutely the best eggs. And you just wake up one morning and they're on your doorstep.
They're there.
And they're the best. They don't need to be refrigerated. They sit out on the counter unless we're told otherwise, and we just enjoy.
Yeah.
So not only does he do that, but the other day I'm calling. So Josh, for those of you who know, Michelle and I are both realtors. I became a broker recently, and I reached out to Josh and was like, hey, help me out with a logo. So Josh built our Justice League Realty logo, which we absolutely love. But when you're not doing that, you've also got this business where you're graphic design.
Yeah.
Which you did back in the for those of you who know Josh, the 3-leaf days.
Yeah.
When that firm was here in Amarillo.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually started doing graphic design when I was a youth pastor almost 20 years ago. And then, I worked for 3-leaf for a little bit. I worked with another ad agency in Dallas for a little bit. And it's kind of, graphic design is kind of one of those, passions of mine that if I am not careful, I can turn it into work and start to really hate it.
Yeah.
And so I really love doing logos, especially logos for friends and family, because I take a lot of pleasure in it, and it keeps it from becoming so mundane and tedious.
Yeah, because you don't have to do it every day. It's one of those things that pops up, and you're like, I'm all for it, and we just we could not be more happy. We were so proud the other day when we got to put our first sign with in terms of working for another company, we got to put our own logo, our own sign in a yard for sale, and we were ecstatic.
That's
so
awesome.
Thank you for knocking that out for us. But I called you. It was I don't know. We were having a logo discussion. We're kind of going back on some iterations of it, and I asked what you're doing, and you were doing something with pigs. I was like, wait, what?
Oh yeah. I think we spoke on the day that we were castrating piglets.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, don't let me pull you from your work.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a day on the farm. That's what you do.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
So you got pigs, chickens.
We've got pigs, laying hens,
Laying
and then
hens.
meat chickens, and then dogs and kids.
Yeah, and a lot of all of those things.
A whole bunch of all of those things.
I'm telling you, and I'm saying this in the best possible way, so take this as a compliment. I feel like your family could be a reality TV show. I'm telling you, JC Acre could be a 100% show, a reality TV show about your family and the things that you guys go through, and I would watch it all day long.
It is entertaining. It would have to, I mean, if they would either have to do a heavy amount of editing and bleeping, or it would have to just be
it's on
parental.
HBO.
Yeah,
like,
it'd have to be
it
HBO, TVMA, because I my strongest language comes out when it's chicken moving day.
Really?
Or yeah, man, I get wound up.
Because you're just in it. Okay, so what a career path, right? So give me kind of your career arc, all the jobs that you've had. And I know there's been a lot,
man.
but it's fun to see where that brought you, though, with JC Acre, from your time of trying to work in the ministry, or working in the ministry and doing the graphic design, all the way to where you are now.
Yeah. I mean, all through high school, I attended our church's youth group, and just knew that all I was meant to do in life was be a youth pastor. Yeah. And so I pursued that right after high school and got into that. And I don't think I realized super quickly that maybe that wasn't the best career choice for me.
But you're not alone in that.
Right.
Because I think anybody that grew up in the church and was really involved, I think that was in... I should be a youth minister,
dude.
Because you see your youth minister, they're just playing all the time. You're like, I want to get paid to do that.
Heck yeah, that's exactly what it was.
And so then there's this thing that comes along to dial it back. You were like, man, that's probably not for me.
Yeah, well, I was, yeah. It turned out to not be for me, and as the years have gone by, it turned out not to be for me, not by my own choice in that season, but like kind of as the years have gone by, I've realized that like it wasn't for me. Yeah. I don't even think I was a very good youth pastor, to be honest with you, because in my mind the idea was I get to play all day. Yeah. I get to go hang out with kids. I get to play. There's no real work that has to be done.
There's no real money either.
There's no real money, but turns out there's work to be done, and I didn't realize all of that. So.
That's so good.
But while I was doing that, I started doing some graphic design for that same youth ministry and really loved that. And it kind of opened some avenues of opportunity for me to work other places. I did some freelance work. I worked for 3 Leaf, like you mentioned. And then, I grew up doing construction with my dad. My dad's been a home builder and carpenter my whole life. Yeah. And so we owned a construction company together. I've done a bunch of remodeling and trim carpentry. Nothing with ag, ever, until I just decided I was going to jump off and be a farmer.
I felt like that was, I know people say left field. I feel like that was a left 40 acre. Like that,
man.
Because all the other things that you had done up until that point. And I remember at one point you called me about some property because you wanted to get more land. And I was like, Josh Davis, what are you doing? And you were like starting a farm. And here you are all those years later, and you're just doing it. Yeah.
I mean, we are fully in it. It's like this is kind of the forever career, which is interesting on this end of my life, or at this point in my life. I've vocationally experienced so many different things that I feel like we finally settled into something that fits. Yeah. And it's really funny to bump into people who haven't seen me in years that knew me from like youth pastor days. They see this version of Josh Davis, and I don't think they know what to do with themselves. Because
I like to call it the Yellowstone Josh. You've got the Yellowstone version, right? You've always looked like you've come in from work. You've got that going on. But it's been a neat transformation. But you're crazy about it, and it allows you to do some really cool things with your family.
It does, yeah, and it has allowed me to work. It's tricky because I don't leave work ever. Yeah, I sleep where I work. I eat breakfast where I work.
You eat your work.
I eat my work. That's exactly right. And my kids are always there. Yeah. My office right now is in a tiny closet in my wife's sewing room, which is one of the bedrooms of our house, and so. Yeah. We homeschool, so kids are in and out all day. And there's a lot of really beautiful things about being constantly with my kids, and there are a lot of really difficult things about my kids just being at work every day. But yeah, it allows me a lot of time. I don't remember seeing my dad work. He was a home builder, and so in my mind, every day when he left work, he went and built an entire home, and when he came home, there was a new house on the earth.
Now Danny's good.
Yeah.
But that's impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive. But in my mind, as a kid, that's what I thought, and it's really, I think it's really cool for the way that my kids get to grow up to see me kind of struggle through figuring things out and see the things that go right and the things that go wrong, and to see what like their dad's work looks like, whether that's graphic design in my office or building a chicken house out in the pasture. It's a really cool thing, and I'm unbelievably grateful for it.
In a time where I feel like a lot of times we're missing out on that, right? Like the farming, the ag, and what our industry, what our really the cornerstone of what our community is built on. And here you're getting to live that dream.
It's really awesome. Yeah, and I mean that's one thing that I didn't realize when we started farming. I did not. I didn't even. I didn't realize how how tremendously disconnected from my food I have been my whole life. I knew that beef came from cows and chicken came from chickens, and,
right.
But you don't. Our culture has created this thing that's so convenient that we don't even have to think about how things are raised, what their life looked like before processing, and that's been a really cool thing for our whole family, really, to kind of experience the care that we put into keeping our animals alive and healthy and happy, and then one day they have a really bad day and it's time for them to turn into food, and that was something that I wasn't connected to growing up or most of my adult life up until this point, and that has been that's been a huge thing, and I think it's important. I think it's important for our whole community to kind of have the opportunity to connect with what sustains their life a little bit more, and that's
so good. I'm disconnected. I mean, and to hear you talk about that, I mean, it really is, because it's out of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go, we're going to eat, we're not going to think about it, but you're seeing it every day of your life. You're seeing this circle and how life was created.
Yeah.
And you're getting to be a part of it, and your kids getting to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's right. And one of our biggest goals with JC Acre is for our community to be able to be a part of it. So most regenerative farms that you'll find, and there are more and more popping up. It's kind of it's a trend right now, and it's a good trend. But most regenerative farms they have like an open door policy where they're fully transparent. And so at JC Acre, pretty much anyone is welcome to come out anytime and see how our chickens live, how our pigs live, kind of see the operation and understand, kind of get to experience their food on a different level than you get to just by going to the grocery store.
Wow. Is there anybody else doing this around here?
On some levels there are.
Yeah.
There are.
Because this seems so out of the box for me.
Yeah, I don't know of a lot of farms that are doing it as far as animal proteins are concerned, but there are some really great farms that are doing like produce.
Okay.
And some small dairies that we are friends with that are really doing it really well. But
I'll get their names because I want to talk about this, because I think this is worth pressing into, especially with agriculture being so big here on the High
Mm-hmm.
Plains. And I love when people think outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love what you and your family are doing. So a little background. So you do that, and your wife, I know this because we have to cut checks every so often to your wife. We're cutting checks to you for eggs, and she's doing our kids' hair.
Yep.
She's been doing that for a while.
She's a hairstylist. Yeah, she's done that. I mean, that straight out of high school. She went to hair school, and that's all she's done. And JC, this is interesting. JC Acre actually started as a leather bag making company. And so my wife enjoys sewing, kind of the same way that I enjoy graphic design. She sews, and she made herself a bag kind of out of necessity. She didn't want to spend however much money to buy a purse, so she made herself one. And as she started carrying that around, people started asking her to make them one. And she was invited to do a maker's market with her bags, and so that we decided to name the bag company JC Acre because we started on 1 acre, and that's where the bags were made. And so JC Acre actually started because of my wife and Josh and Celia. JC. And then we've kind of named our kids around that same thing so that they can inherit the brand one day if we build it well enough.
Okay, pause here. Give us all the names of the kiddos.
Okay, yeah. So John Clive is our oldest kid, and our second son's name is Cormac. So John Clive, JC, John Clive, and Cormac. And then our girls' names are Sonnet and Ruth Ann. Yeah.
Such a sweet family.
Oh man, it's such a, it is an unbelievable gift to have the people that you get to have.
So that is the Davis family.
Yeah.
And so you guys form JC Acre, and so she's making bags, and now you guys are just doing it.
Yeah.
You started with an acre.
We
How
started
many do you
with
have
an
now?
acre. We operate on like 4.5.
Yeah.
We are, we're always looking for leases or land to buy to expand and operate on more land. So we're kind of actively in that process right now. But
that means you're going to call and I'm going to have to go start knocking on doors out there. Aren't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I've known you for such a long time, and to see kind of this entire arc of your family and where you guys are in this sweet space is so cool. I'm just a fan, and that I'm a fan of your mom, your dad, your sweet sisters. They're just incredible, and I feel like that creative thing that you have. I feel like your entire family has it. I think you're all just a family of creators.
Yeah, I think that's true. One of my sisters, I think, wouldn't say that about herself, but
she's creating in the classroom. It's a different kind of creation for her.
It is, and I don't know anyone who can organize something like she can. And that's art to me.
Right.
So she sees the world different. Like that's kind of how creative people are. Is they just sort of see the world different, and her way of seeing the world is so crazy, beautiful to me. But somehow I landed in a family that is so creative and so resilient and resourceful, and I'm super proud of our family. So
yeah, most definitely. All right. So as you guys as you're expanding, like where do you see JC Acre like 5 years, 10 years down the road? What do you see?
Oh man, I don't know. I would really love to see kind of some more partnerships with other small farms. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that regenerative agriculture exists to do, it's said a lot that it's not necessarily scalable. Ag kind of turned into this thing that was supposed to be scalable. It's like get big or go home. Yeah. And regenerative agriculture doesn't kind of adopt that way of thinking. It's replicable, but it's not necessarily scalable. Okay. And so one of the things I'd love to see JC Acre able to do is participate with other farmers to increase the amount of transparent and nutrient-dense food that people can buy in our community and our surrounding communities. Okay. We deliver our eggs to Canyon and Amarillo, but we don't deliver to Dumas. We don't deliver to Clarendon. And I'd love to see some other farms like ours in communities like that.
How do people sign up for? I know there was a time there, Josh, where y'all weren't taking any more clients in terms of the eggs because there's only so many eggs that your hens can produce. If somebody wants to kind of learn more, kind of do that, where do they go? What do they do?
Yeah, our website is jcacre.co, not .com, .co, and our website tells our whole story, lists all of our products and why we offer them. You can sign up for our Yoke Folks subscription on our website. We have subscribers who get 9 dozen eggs a week. We've got people who get 1 dozen egg every other week. 1 dozen every other week. So there's no there aren't many boundaries on the quantities that you can get, and we've got room for new members. And then from our website, you can also add chicken or pork to your delivery each week, whatever you want to do. We just started offering pet treats, which is really fun.
Oh, great.
We really want to be a zero waste operation. So with our chickens that we process those on farm. We take all of the products that, like all the yucky products,
Yeah.
and we dehydrate those for pet treats. And dogs love them. So
And it's natural. And
it's all natural,
yeah.
yeah. Fed the same. It's non-GMO, soy and corn-free, just like all of our human products as well. So, or human consumption products.
That's
So
crazy.
it's fun, yeah.
Could you have ever imagined that, again, looking at what I call the Yellowstone version of Josh Davis, which is a great version. I love that version. Do you ever see this transit like play itself out?
Not, never. I mean, in my 20s and 30s, really, all I could imagine was moving to some big city and living in a apartment up 10 floors, you know. And now all I want is just big, wide open or Panhandle, flat,
Yeah.
beautiful. That's all I want.
So you said something flat and beautiful, and I say the same thing. I've been to other places, and I love going to see your sister Sarah and your brother-in-law Peter. I love to go see them. We go see them every summer up in Boulder, and I love that view.
Mm-hmm.
There is something uniquely beautiful about being able to see for miles and miles.
Yeah, there is.
There's something freeing to me in my spirit that I just can't. It's hard to put into words.
It is, and I think for a lot of people, and you have to do this with regenerative ag too. A lot of people almost have to redefine beauty in order to really appreciate the Panhandle.
Yeah.
Because I mean, right now it's not pretty. It's not pretty out there. It's yellow, and there's dust blowing around in February. It's kind of brutal right now, and it's really hard to appreciate the beauty of that because it's not pretty. And in a place like outside of Boulder or outside of Denver, it's kind of always pretty there.
Yeah.
It's easy. We can edit this out. Do y'all edit these?
No. What do you mean?
Oh, well, I was gonna say I say that the Panhandle of Texas isn't the hot chick.
Right.
Like it's
I get what
gorgeous.
you're saying.
And so.
But you're in the chicken business, so I think it's okay. I mean,
Oh yeah.
You're in the chicken.
Absolutely.
You're in the chicken
We're talking
business.
about chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's perfect. So yeah, it's not necessarily the prettiest thing you've ever seen,
Right.
but it's very easy if you look past its prettiness to see the beauty of it.
Right.
And that's one thing that first of all, our being a farmer connects you to the beauty of the land. You get to see its cycles, and you get to see nature kind of interacting with itself. And so that makes it easy to see the beauty, but also participating in a different food system as a consumer kind of gives you the same ability to appreciate our region as far as the biological nature of our region anyway.
You use the term like equating it to an attractive person, right? It's, to me, I know this sounds, go with me with this analogy. It's like, you know how you have like really fancy, not anymore, we don't, we just have silverware. But back in the day, you had really nice silverware that you would bring out for guests, or it was like a showpiece, right? And that fork was really shiny. But the one that you use in the drawer all day, every day, it does the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to find the ability in the fact that this is still a tool.
Yeah.
No matter how shiny it is a tool.
Absolutely.
To feed.
Yeah.
And so when you see what the Panhandle, what the High Plains, what our area, what it produces, you're right. There is a beauty to it, and we don't always have our best days.
Mm-hmm.
But on those bad days, I just always remind myself we're surrounded by great people.
Mm-hmm.
And that gets us through. I went to a wedding one time at I can't even remember whose wedding it was. It's one of your best friends' wedding, and we did it out at your place. And watching that sunset in the summer, and we were sitting on hay bales for the wedding. I was like, it took me back in time.
Yeah.
And do you ever think about this? I mean, because you're out there doing it. You're doing what our forefathers and the people that settled this land did, about how hard it would have been to settle out of all the places in this country that you could set down your roots, and somebody picked one of the hottest, driest, windiest places in the world, and they made a living out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It really is. One of the things that's always crazy to me that I have to think about, and this is part of what our Seth Wick, our friend, he just released a book of poems called Call Out Coyote. Very shameless plug. You can order it at wisebloodbooks.com.
Get it in there, because I'm going to have Seth. I know that Seth just did Hey Amarillo not too long ago, so I'm trying to give. I love what they do at Hey Amarillo, and ours is kind of a little different, so it's not like competing. But I'm kind of waiting for that to rest a little bit, and then I want to bring Seth in.
Yeah.
Because much like Seth, much like you, Seth's a very interesting individual.
Oh man, he's fascinating,
and he is a phenomenally talented writer.
Yeah.
And so cerebral. There's a little part of me that every time I'm around, I'm like, I hope some of this rubs off on me.
Yeah.
Like Seth is
oh
that
man,
guy.
me too.
Yeah.
He has a quote in one of his poems. It's included in Call Out Coyote, but it's called Ulysses Arrives in Amarillo. And there's a little piece of that poem that has stuck out to me since I heard it in 2020. It says, "But wild hope springs from tended strength. I shook with purpose and not with foreclosure. Plot by plot, I won the land's trust, and now she's rich and full of the renewing green." That's basically the guiding statement for us as farmers at JC Acre.
I feel like you need to put that on a sign as people are coming
Oh,
out.
oh
like
man,
that,
seriously.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes, as big as possible.
That is what you do.
And it's beautiful. It's like I don't think anyone could have said it better than Seth wrote it. But when people settled here, the journals write about otters living in the rivers here, and like tall grasslands and millions of bison, and like it was windy and it was dry, but it was this like ecosystem that thrived. And one of the things that's so important, I think, about regenerative agriculture is a lot of our, and I have friends who are farmers who till like crazy, and I have friends who own feedlots and their cattle aren't out on pasture grazing. Wonderful people, and they will never be my enemy. But one of the things that caused the Dust Bowl, probably the main thing, is us tilling up all of that land that was so rich and full of the renewing green, and the wind picked up and took it all away. And so one of our goals with regenerative agriculture for our little spot and whatever other little spots we're able to farm on is to kind of earn the trust of the land back through our farming practices and our agreement with the land and nature, and see that kind of regenerate, to see the soil thrive again and become drought resistant like it was when we got here in the 1800s. So,
well, thank you for being a modern day pioneer in really regenerative agriculture. If anybody is watching this that is into regenerative agriculture, I want you to reach out. My email is super easy. It's ajustice@kamr.com. I want to do more of these stories. I want to do stories of these people that are out there that are making the most and taking care of our most valuable resources. There are a lot of headlines about, we see it all the time, where maybe we're not. I mean, again, our whether it's our water, whether it's our land. I want to know more about these people that are finding different and unique ways to do it. So if you're out there and you're watching this and you're in this world, reach out, ajustice@kamr.com. One more time, where can we go to find you and what you do, and possibly even schedule? It's kind of like you said, you're open, where we can just come out and see what you do.
Yeah, jcacre.co is our website. Okay. There's a contact page on there if you'd like to come out for a farm tour. Fill out that contact form and let us know. We'll set up a time. We could just let people come out anytime, but we're not there all the time. But so you can fill out the contact form. You can sign up for our newsletter. You can join Yoke Folks on our website. Another great way to kind of keep up with what's going on at the farm and maybe get some more comedic value out of it is to follow us on Instagram.
Okay.
Our Instagram is JC_Acre.
Okay.
And we post a lot of videos on there, and you get to see a lot of the failures.
Josh, I love it. I love everything about this interview. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I finally reached out, and we were able to make it happen. Anybody that's watching this, if you have somebody that you think is fascinating and you think the people of the High Plains deserve to know more about them, we can cover absolutely any topic, anywhere, anytime. And Seth Wick is on the list.
Excellent.
Our friend Seth is going to be in soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Don't forget to go over and learn more about Josh and all the wonderful things that his family is doing with regenerative farming and the importance of agriculture here on the High Plains. We can't live without it. I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you'll check in on the next time. So we'll be back on the other side.